I agree, guys, but unfortunately we don't have an Iowa football game this week. But in other news, the Iowa volleyball team is currently on the road, which means they're missing out on one of the best parts of the home court advantage at Carver. Alex Giannakopoulos has more.
Iowa volleyball has had a bit of a resurgence recently, improving year by year. It's not just the team that's been improving. A group that watches them has gone through a tough learning process of their own. The Iowa Volleyball Band.
It's the team spirit. I played football and I was okay at it. I played t-ball. I was really more interested in picking flowers and giving them to my mom. The sport that really gets me going is playing in an ensemble. So for me, this is my sport.
It may be hard to believe, but this band wasn't always as vocal as they are now. It actually turned out to be the help of a cartoon sponge that really brought the energy out of this group.
I was like, you know what? Everybody knows SpongeBob. It's an Alaskan bullworm. And the crowd started doing it with us. And folks in the band started catching on. And then it became like this thing that we did. And now it's at the point where like, they had me running up and down the steps. I'm doing a lot of cardio. I started this when I was wearing a large shirt, now I'm wearing a medium.
Once the band started coming together, they started trying out different traditions, from fusion dances to holding up their instruments like a newborn lion from The Lion King.
You know, there's not really one specific tradition that stands out to me. It's just like how everyone in the group really enjoys themselves and just has a great time.
As the band continued to come together, they realized that they were getting more out of their job than just a place to practice their instruments.
This is like you know what I'm saying? Like, they're really working me, but at the same time, it's fantastic. Like, I love this. I love this so much.
This has been Alex Giannakopoulos. Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Next time you're at a volleyball game, be sure to listen to the band. Win or lose, they are worth the price of admission. Last night, the volleyball team took on the Indiana Hoosiers in Bloomington and won in all 4 sets. 3 Hawkeyes registered double-digit kills led by Claire Sheehan with 15 and 5 blocks, along with Bree Orr's 42 assists, which is her 117th set with 30 or more assists, and Jess Janata's 4 aces, a career high and the most by a Hawkeye so far this season. The Hawks have beat Indiana 6 times in a row. Up next on the docket for the Hawks is number 6 ranked Minnesota this Sunday in Minneapolis. The Iowa field hockey team traveled to take on ranked Duke this past weekend. The team knew going into the match that it was going to be one of the toughest components that they would face all season. However, the team held their own and the match concluded with a 4-2 score.
The women's field hockey team put out an impressive fight against ranked Duke this past week, and they're hoping to clinch 2 Big Ten wins this weekend.
It's been the story of the season. We played really well for big patches of the game against Duke. We just didn't put it all together. But, you know, we have a lot of confidence going into this weekend. We just are waiting for that time that we put 70 minutes together. We have a good game plan going into Northwestern and Michigan, and we're excited to get out to practice today to execute.
I think we played really well. Like, we know that we can hang with these top teams, so like going into the weekend we know that like it's going to be 2 good games. And one of our strengths in the game was definitely our corners. We were able to get shots off and capitalize on a few of them.
I think it gives us momentum for this week. We definitely showed Duke like what we were, and they definitely underestimated us, our ability, because we got 2 goals against them. So I was really happy, and going against Northwestern and Michigan, they're both incredible teams, so we're very excited, and knowing that we can take Duke 4-2 is really exciting. So we're ready, I think.
The Hawkeyes will host Northwestern and Michigan this weekend. Reporting for Iowa Women's Field Hockey, this is Delaney Parker, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The team will face 2 Big Ten opponents here at home in Grant Field this upcoming weekend. The Iowa baseball team is wrapping up their fall ball season at home this week with the Black and Gold World Series. Last night in Game 1, the Black team beat the Gold team 3-2 after being held scoreless through the 6 innings. The Black team pitched a no-hitter and smacked 7 hits on their way to a Game 1 victory. After the game, head coach Rick Heller said that even though it's just a scrimmage, the players all take it pretty seriously.
Oh, they're competitive. They're competitive because the losing team has to buy dinner for the winning team. So they're excited and getting after it. It really brings some life to the games here at the end of the fall when they sometimes can drag, and we're not allowed to play a lot of games in the fall. So playing outside competition, that usually gets you going, but we don't have that. So this is the next best thing.
The Black and Gold World Series continues this afternoon at 3:30, and unless the Gold team can squeak out a win, it looks like dinner will be on them. That's it for us in the sports studio. A reminder that Zach Mackey and Mary-Kate Harrian are on bye this week, just like the football team, so no pregame show, but Bo Bowman will be in the studio. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for a heartfelt story on Unified Sports. And an update from the Iowa football team during their bye week. Guys, back to you.